Ladies and gentlemen, the Democratic Party, especially President Biden's administration, utilized the United States government against Trump just today. You can look Yahoo News under siege. Trump says FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. NBC News, Trump says his Mar-a-Lago home was raided by a large group of agents. New York Times, Trump says FBI raided his Mar-a-Lago home. Now, the theme here, although the articles don't state that specifically, this is just my viewpoint, my humble analysis. Democrats have loyalists like Peter Strzok, like James Comey, like Andrew McCabe. Andrew McCabe got money from Virginia Democrats. Peter Strzok said, "We'll stop Trump," in a text message. James Comey wrote a book, and then before that claimed that Trump demanded loyalty, and he got the Mueller probe started because of a meeting with Trump. And Jeff Sessions recusing himself, the whole thing was a catastrophe. But you have to understand, an outgoing Democratic administration setting up and framing an incoming Republican, along with Republican help, Sessions, Paul Ryan, John McCain, you have Kinzinger and Cheney now. Trump has completely reshaped the Republican Party into a populist conservative party. The populism within Trump Republican ideology is the same populism as Bernie Sanders. The exact same, aside from an emphasis with Bernie Sanders or AOC is like not even, who knows, Bernie Sanders, this is like, they're not even who they claim to be, but Bernie Sanders and Trump focus on economic growth. They focus on alleviating poverty and addressing economic injustices. Poverty was at an all-time low with Trump in 2019 at 10% or so, according to CNN, the lowest since poverty rates were recorded in the U.S. You voted for Bernie Sanders on the left. I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. You voted for Bernie Sanders on the left when I was on the left because you wanted to eliminate poverty, reduce poverty. That was part of your vision of what was moral. Trump had a 10% poverty rate in 2019, the lowest since 1959. Okay, Trump delivered on that. He delivered on the highest on record household median incomes. Real wages were up. I voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016 or 2015, and then the Green Party in 2016. I was way on the left because I wanted a president to address poverty, economic issues, economic injustices, let's say, or that type of mentality. So we got that with Trump. He addressed all of that. We had household median incomes, highest recorded level. Real wages were up. Poverty was at 10%. We had hundreds of thousands of new manufacturing jobs. And then one liberal YouTuber said, well, there was outsourcing. But okay, there was outsourcing under President Obama, but we didn't have poverty at 10%, and we didn't have household median incomes at record highs. People were making more money. Every demographic group had the lowest poverty rate on record and the highest incomes. And real wages were up 10%. Were up. It wasn't inflation at close to 10% like now. Real wages are down 4.4%. Why am I getting into the economics here? Because you can't stop Trump. Trump is at the same time a Republican, but also everything you wanted from Bernie Sanders. Democrats have an existential issue with Trump. That's why they're going after him with Mar-a-Lago. And they raided his. That's why the Federal Bureau of Investigation is an extension of the Democratic Party. They will just simply go after any political rival of the Democrats. They will not go. They will not raid the home of Hillary. It will never happen. It will never happen because you have loyalists within the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And they better hope Trump isn't president, because then he'll go ahead and do the exact same thing, but he'll actually find crimes with Hillary and Hunter. The difference is that they can't find a crime with Trump. Okay? They raided Giuliani's home. They raided Roger Stone's home. They haven't found anything. Stone was pardoned, but they raided the home. They didn't find anything pertaining to he was convicted of lying to Congress, which Democrats do, intel officials do on a routine basis. And so they're the authoritarians and tyrants. So the people who call, they're the Hollywood celebrities calling Republicans, it's a word that starts with an F. And check out the segment on the Mar-a-Lago thing prior to this one. I did a segment on the Mar-a-Lago raid prior to this segment. This is a turning point in American history, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually a huge, huge turning point in American history. Okay? You are now going to see eventually, the United States government leveled against Democrats when Trump finally wrestles control away of the government from the Democratic Party, because the Democrats and media, they've convinced themselves into thinking that, well, they're completely, because they have Cheney and Kinzinger or Never Trumpers, so they're like, look, this is reality. It's like, no. The Never Trumpers are basically Democrats. Trump is a completely different political creature. So you're not saying, oh, well, he's a Republican like Liz Cheney is. He's not a Republican like Liz Cheney. He doesn't want never-ending wars. It's another reason why you would vote for Bernie Sanders. See, Bernie Sanders would not oppose the Lincoln Project. Bernie Sanders would not have, with his policies, achieved a record low in poverty. Socialist countries, by the way, if you want to talk about socialism, have the highest poverty rate. See, the one thing that wonderful, morally superior socialists or liberal Democrats don't understand is you can look at the poverty rate in the United States of America. The poorest cities are run by Democrats. You look in the world, the poorest countries are run by socialists or communists. And in history, the poorest nations have been communist or socialist nations. The policies don't work. Simply saying, well, this is a government program, so this is socialism. No, you need a government program. You need a social safety net. You need unemployment insurance. But you could also benefit from tax cuts. You don't need government to do everything for you. And even Scandinavian countries were distancing themselves from Bernie Sanders. But the point I'm trying to say is Trump is an existential threat. He negotiated the Doha Agreement. It's a moral imperative to vote for Trump if you're anti-war and you're anti-poverty. If you like poverty and you like never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts, vote Democrat. So you have to understand something. It's not about Trump's accomplishments. It's about his personality. He's going up against, and he's fighting a very corrupt system where Hillary Clinton can have private servers with top secret intel, and that's fine. That is a crime. And by the way, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. We need to do this. The Clintons and Biden, this is President Biden. If he doesn't, mashed potato brains doesn't know what's going on, but this is his administration. He's running it. He's utilizing the Bureau against the former president, just like President Obama utilized the Bureau and Clapper and Brennan and intel agencies against an incoming president. Okay, the authoritarians are on the left. The tyrants are the Democratic Party, not Trump. Trump is the victim of all of this, even though you think that he's a bully and he's mean. He has a personality, and he conquered Hollywood, and he would have been embraced. Like, all of the people in Hollywood who have utter contempt for Trump would have embraced his rear end if they met him at a party in 2015 or 2014. The epicenter of immorality, Hollywood and D.C., is against Trump. You do the math on that. Okay? God bless Donald Trump. And if you want to go ahead, Democrats, and indict him and try to, I'll still vote for him, just like you would still have voted for Hillary if she was in prison, or Biden if he was whatever, in prison, or out to lunch, which he is all the time. So you're not going to stop Trump, or you'll get DeSantis, who's actually in a way a better political candidate. You can't stop. Democrats cannot stop the political opposition that's taking over the Republican Party and will easily decimate Democrats for years to come. So it's just now a matter of, do you want to indict Trump and then have him win in a trial? Do you want to indict Trump, make him a martyr, or make him even more popular? You're caught between a rock and a hard place, because you have recession that's going to be prolonged with an economy that's going to get worse, and Democrats losing popularity despite the immense media push to prop them up, and you have Trump and DeSantis taking over the Republican Party, mainly Trump, but if you try to, knock Trump out in some way, you get DeSantis, who is very good. And so you would only galvanize. You indict Trump for something he didn't do because he didn't commit a crime. Hunter and Hillary and others did commit crimes. And like I said, I want a Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2024. I think we need a Hillary Clinton, Trump 2024. Hillary should be the nominee. I mean, after all, the Kremlin stole it from her. So anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. Huge development. And I have a segment that I did actually, it'll be later tonight, that I did before the Mar-a-Lago raid. So, but it's about the DOJ being pressured to indict Trump. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so very much.